What comes to your mind when you hear the name Nigeria? There's a lot of things that comes into people's mind when they hear Nigeria because it is associated with scamming, it is associated with drugs and stuff. But do you think this describes the whole nation? This describes the whole Nigerians? I do not think so, according to myself. So allow me to talk about this beautiful nation, Nigeria, in the next coming month, on the 25th of February, they're hosting presidential elections. That is the moment in time of Nigerian youth. They have to take their right to the ballot box, the ballot paper, so that they define the new phase and the new chapter of the life they are going to live in the life of also their children. So just give me a time to talk about this beautiful nation of Nigeria. Good day, guys. I hope we are all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of The Untold, where we tell you what's happening in the African continent, the beautiful continent of Africa. And today, allow me to talk about the most black populous nation in the world, which is Nigeria. As you know, Nigeria is going to host presidential elections in the next coming month on the 25th of February. It is a day, it is a moment of Nigerians' youth to choose the person who's going to move the country to the better place. In Nigeria, if you take a look, they are languishing in poverty, while the country is so rich in minerals, where the country is the largest producer of crude oil in Africa, or the country is also the it has the largest film industry in Africa, or the country has a lot to offer, but we still see Nigerians languishing in poverty. This is the time and the moment of Nigerian youth to use their vote so that it describes the future of their kids. It describes the future of their economy. So give me time, guys, to talk about few things that I do celebrate Nigeria and Nigerians personally. So let's get straight to the point. Here are the few things that I do celebrate about Nigeria personally. Nigeria, it is the largest producer of crude oil in Africa, and as of August 2022, it is said that Nigeria produces 937,000 barrels of crude oil per day. And also, it is said Nigeria has 37 million barrels of proven crude oil reserves in Nigeria. And around 2020-2021, Nigeria sold almost 30 billion worth of crude oil to South Africa and other nations. So why do we still see Nigeria still languishing in poverty while the country is so rich in crude oil? So, however, these are the things that I do little bit about Nigeria, but as to encourage the youth of Nigeria to just go and vote for change so that their future of their children's can be better. Number two, Nigeria, it is the most black populous country in the continent. And what makes me happy is Nigeria's film industry. It is the second largest in the world and the largest in the African continent. And it is worth 5.7 billion. And normally per year they produce 5,000. They produce 2,500 films annually. And it is said that film industry, it is the second largest employer in Nigeria, apart from agriculture, which means the government does not employ than the film industry, which makes me happy because with the little government support, they are managing to create employment for themselves and to employ other creatives. And also, what I do celebrate about Nigeria is they do support they do watch their own Nigerian movies, and Nigerian film industry, it contributes a lot to the GDP of the country. So that's what makes me celebrate about Nigeria. Nigeria is also the largest producer of LP gas, petroleum liquefied gas. The largest is used for domestic use, and the other portion also used for power generation. It is said that if this gas is managed properly, Nigeria, it is capable of producing 600,000 metric tons of gas per year, and also to produce 2.5 gigawatts of electricity from the new power generators and also the existing generators, which can also help them to cut the power crisis in the nation. As we know, power, it is needed for the growth of the economy. There's nothing that we can do without power. So if this gas is managed properly, it means that it can also help the country to grow economically. Number three, in agriculture. Nigeria, it leads in the production of so many agricultural products that includes cocoa beans, palm oil, and also sorghum. And it is said that Nigeria, it is the second largest producer of sorghum in the world. And it ranks the fifth in the production of palm oil in the world. Nigeria, it ranks the sixth in the production of cashew nuts in the world, and it exports 80% of its product outside the country, in the countries like Vietnam, etc. And as of 2022 January and June, Nigeria exported its cashew nuts and they earned a sum of 167 billion naira, which equates to 150 million US dollars, which means the country earns so much through cashew nuts. I can't talk about Nigeria without talking about Afrobeat, without talking about their music industry. We have seen their musicians are taking the world by storm, as like the likes of Burna Boy, the likes of Wizkid, the likes of Davido, Teni Makanaki, a lot that are taking the world by storm. And Nigerians, they celebrate and embrace their language and culture in their music, which makes their music go globally. These are a few things that I do celebrate about Nigeria. If you also have things that you do celebrate about Nigeria, we can go on the comment section and let's discuss about this beautiful country in the continent. And after all has been said and done, after all the agricultural products have been sold outside of Nigeria, after all the minerals have been mined, after all crude oil has been sold outside of Nigeria, we still see Nigeria in poverty. We still see Nigeria crying about insecurity in the country, the increase in poverty, and a lot. So as I have mentioned at the beginning of the video, that Nigeria is going to host presidential elections in the next coming month on the 25th of February. That is the time of African youth, Nigerian youth, to define the future of their kids. Of course, this is the right time to change the status quo, to change corruption that is happening in the country. It is the time, and the time is now, and the change is unavoidable. The change is imminent. As I am your concerned African citizen, I'll be glad to see Nigeria changing and growing economically. That's the only way we can grow. We can grow as a continent, encouraging one another to go and vote for change. As the continent is so rich in so many things, while our people are still languishing in poverty. I'm yours, Fidelis Amanga, your concerned African citizen. Please hit a like and comment on the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe, as I take a lot of time to do a research and do also a presentation to give you to you guys. So until we meet again, I'm yours, Fidelis Amanga, your concerned African citizen.